Calling all authors, the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, hosted by Robert A. Lane, is on the air, featuring everything you need to know about narrating your own audiobook. But it doesn't stop there. From special guests, including authors and professionals from the book industry, to sharing tools and techniques needed to be a confident and compelling narrator. The journey starts now. So please welcome your host, Robert A. Lane.
And glad you're here with me today on this edition of the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love doing this podcast and helping you as an author, turning your book into an audiobook, as you should, as you should. Matter of fact, all authors really do need to have their book turned into an audiobook, especially those of you who are nonfiction authors. The key factor is, of course, you narrating your own audiobook, putting it in your own voice, because no one can tell your story better than you. And also for fiction authors, you have the ability to tell your story. It's about the content. You don't need to do crazy voices all the time, depending on the story that you've written, but you can still narrate your own audiobook, and that's a key factor. And that is one of the things that I will touch on the episode today in regards to show me the money. Show me the money, because you can make money with your audiobook. You can make money as an author. You really can. You just have to think outside the box. So we're going to talk about these things. By the way, if you do not have an audiobook yet, and I hope you are planning on it, but if you haven't, just reach out to me at robertlanecoaching.com. There's links in the description. You can check those out. But book a call with me. Let's have a quick little audiobook consultation call. It's funny, like I hear about some people charging for consultations. No. Never do that. But book a call. The link to my calendar, and you will talk to me directly. It's in the description. And let's talk about your book. I'll give you more information about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. There's two versions of the program. The most popular, of course, is the VIP program, where you and I work together through the entire audiobook creation process, from beginning to end, getting you the equipment you need to set up your own recording space, teaching you the fine art of what it takes to do a great narration. And then I do all the editing. I clean it up for you, make sure it meets the exact specifications for publication. I upload your audio files for you for publication. And by the end of the 12 weeks, your audiobook is recorded and uploaded and ready for publication on Audible, Amazon, Apple, any other distribution platform that you would like to be on. So please book a call. Would love to hear from you. robertlanecoaching.com is my website, and there's plenty of little buttons there where you can book a call. All right. Would love to talk to you more about that. Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. You really should do it. Matter of fact, if you're thinking about holiday gifts or birthday gifts or anything like that, why don't you give the author in your family the audiobook coaching program that I teach? What a great, great gift to give an author that will not only preserve their legacy, but it'll be there for forever, right? It's a gift that does keep on giving. All right. So show me the money. Well, let's talk about ways that you can make money with your audiobook. And I'm going to start with the obvious. Okay. So you need to have an audiobook. That's number one. Okay. Audible, Amazon, and Apple. They call it the AAA. Those three distribution platforms you really do need to be on, okay? And of course, a lot of authors go there first, of course, and it makes sense. Like I say, the general public, they know what Audible is. They know what Amazon is. So if they go to Amazon, they look up your book and they see all the formats. You got your ebook, your paperback, your hardcover, if you've done that, and of course, your audiobook. So you can obviously sell your book on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, and that is through ACX, which ACX is under the Amazon umbrella, but that's where you get on Audible, Amazon, and Apple. Okay, so you will make money there. And depending whether you are exclusive with ACX, meaning that you are only on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, you will get 40% per sale. They take 60, you get 40. That's just the way it is. Now, if you are non-exclusive, which gives you the freedom to distribute your audiobook anywhere else that you want to put it on, whether it's your website, libraries, other distribution platforms, whatever it is. Then you can be non-exclusive. on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, and they will pay you 25% per sale. So the one thing that I want to bring to the table is, and I've heard authors say, I'm not going to do my audiobook because I got to sell 500 audiobooks just to break even, or 1,000 audiobooks just to break even, so I'm not going to make any money on it. Well, first of all, as an author, your brand, this is your business. Having an audiobook is part of the arsenal of great products that you offer with your business. So you can't think of it that way. And if you're only thinking about only being on Audible and making money off of there, you are limiting yourself from other possibilities for you to make money. Okay. So that's not an excuse, or don't use that as an excuse to not do an audiobook. You got to do it. You really do. Okay. So yes, you will make money. You're not going to make a ton of money, just like when you sell your other formats, your paperback, your ebook, your hardcover. Even if you go to Kindle, Kindle's great because you can get it distributed for free. But you got to sell a lot of books, just like with audiobooks. So if you're only looking at just Audible to make money, you're limiting yourselves. Okay, that's one way to make money, but it ain't going to show you the money, at least not at the level that I'm sure you want to make in regards to finances. So here's the thing. Why don't you get yourself an Audible, Amazon, and Apple? You got to be on the AAA because that's what the general public knows mostly, and that's where they go. And I hear people say this all the time. Oh man, are you on Audible? And remember, they say Audible. They just don't say, oh, do you have an audiobook? It's becoming more and more commonplace to ask for it by brand name being Audible, Amazon, Apple. Hey, is your audiobook on Amazon? I hear it all the time. So again, important to be on those distribution platforms, the AAA. Now, the other thing that you can do is that you can widen your distribution, right? You'll make more money. So you can get on other distribution platforms. So if you are non-exclusive on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, okay, if you're non-exclusive there, you get 25%. But hey, so what, right? It gives you the freedom to then distribute your audiobook on other platforms. Other platforms can be, libraries or Barnes and Noble. I mean, there's like 40 or 50 other distribution platforms that are out there. And the way to do that, and the company that I recommend for you to release research, is Authors Republic. They are the most user-friendly out of all the ones that are out there to set up and get your audiobook distributed. So if you have your audiobook recorded and ready to go, usually what I do with my clients who go through my audiobook coaching program is we get you on Audible, Amazon, and Apple first, get you up on there. Then we go to Authors Republic, get you set up with an Authors Republic account, and then have them distribute to the other platforms that they cover. Because I feel it's better for you as an author to directly upload your audiobook to ACX so that you are in complete control of your audiobook and your audiobook files on Audible, Amazon, and Apple than going through another distribution platform. Authors Republic will get you on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, but they still have to go through the same process that you would normally go through anyway. So instead of having to deal with a middleman, you can just go directly to ACX. My piece of advice, and that's what I do with my clients. Now, I do prefer Authors Republic over, Findaway Voices or InAudio or in these other companies, just because I find Authors Republic being the most user-friendly. And when it comes to what they pay you in regards to audiobook sales, it's pretty similar. There's not that much difference between any of these. So that is another way to show you the money, right? Bring some more money and some more revenue as an author with your audiobook. Okay, so now it's time to start thinking outside the box. Again, do not limit yourself to just being on Audible, Amazon, and Apple and just being digitally distributed. Okay, there are other things that you can do. Another great way is on your author website. If you have an author website, I hope you do, is sell your audiobook directly from your website. And you can do that, whether you have a web designer or maybe you did it yourself on Wix or WordPress or whatever. There are ways with those companies that you can set it up to where you can sell product off of your website. So sell your audiobook off of your website. Great way to make income, and you got to promote and market that. Okay. So, you can obviously put the link to your audio book, if it's on Audible or any of those other distribution platforms. But again, they're still making more money. Sell it directly off your website. For example, let's do some simple math. Let's say you're selling your audiobook for $10, right? And let's say Amazon is selling your audiobook for $10. We'll just use that as a blanket number. All right. If you're non-exclusive with distribution on ACX, which means Audible, Amazon, and Apple, they sell a book, you get 25%. Well, each audiobook you sell is going to net you $2.50. Now, if you're selling your audiobook on your website and you're selling it directly to your followers and people who love you as an author, then instead of having to sell 4 audiobooks to make $10, you sell 1 audiobook, you've made $10. You keep 100% of the profits. So, again, don't limit your thinking of only having to be on Audible. Yeah, you'll have to sell 500 audiobooks to break even. But if you're selling your audiobook on your own website, let's say you're selling it for $10 and you sell 500, guess what? You've covered your costs for what it took to create that audiobook. You're now making money. It's very profitable. So that's one way to get yourself distributed, okay, and to make sales. The other thing that you can do, of course, is creating, and it's all part of your marketing strategy, and that's creating bundles, package deals. If your audiobook, and I know that there's many books out there, and even authors that I've worked with in the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program, is that they have supplemental material. Maybe they have photos, or maybe they have a workbook, or maybe they have other things. You can, when people buy your audiobook, give them this extra supplemental material that goes with your audiobook. You can do that when you sell on Audible and some of these other distribution platforms as well. When somebody buys your audiobook, they get supplemental material. They get a link or whatever. And usually it's in a PDF format. So if your workbook, put it in PDF format, upload it. And when you sell an audiobook, they get this supplemental material. Okay. Now, if you're selling it on your website, that's another great thing, is that you can, of course, give them supplemental material. And that's a great thing. So you could even maybe raise your price of what your audiobook costs because you're giving them something extra. However you want to market it. But remember, you want to do something good and nice for your followers and your listeners. So don't price gouge them. All right. But anyway, these are ways that you can make money. That's going to show you the money. One of the things that I just love with a few of the authors that I've worked with who've gone through my audiobook coaching program is that they've utilized their audiobook as a calling card, like a business card, a digital business card. I know authors who go out and they do speaking engagements because of the topic that they wrote about. And a lot of these authors who do this have written nonfiction books, and some is about trauma or health, or even coaches who've written books, weight loss, nutrition, career, relationships, whatever it is. And they go out and they do speaking gigs at community events, at big companies and corporations, at conferences, at book festivals, wherever. And they get hired as a speaker. So what they've done is that they've taken their audiobook and they give a free copy of their audiobook and even a free copy of their paperback as well to the event planner. And say, here's my book. Here's my audiobook. This is what I sound like. This is what I talk about. You're really going to love my book. You're really going to love my audiobook. And they give it to them. So let's say you sell your book, your audiobook is $10, okay? And maybe you sell your paperback for $20. So you invest $30. You invest $30 into your business to book a gig. And then you book a speaking gig. Maybe you get paid $1,000 or, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, depending on the conference that you get booked at. For a $30 investment to an event planner, you've booked a $5,000 speaking gig. That's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. That's another way that you can show me the money, right? Show me the money, because you will make money, obviously, a lot more by doing something like that. Again, thinking outside the box. That's why it's so important for you to not just limit yourself of only having distribution digitally on Audible, Amazon, Apple, Barnes and Noble, Spotify, Google, wherever else that you can put your audiobook on, because you only get a small percentage of sales, which is good. And that does bring in some income. But again, we want to think outside the box, because that is just really, really, really important. And of course, marketing and promotion is great. All right. So you can turn your audiobook content into maybe episodes, right? If you have a book, for example, I just finished a book. It's a great fiction book, by the way, called Ghost Flower. And the author, or the wife of the author, because the author passed away, and she decided to turn her husband's book into an audiobook, and she did the narration. And it's a fiction story, and she did a fantastic job. That's all I can say, is that she's awesome, which means you, as an author, have what it takes to do an audiobook. So don't ever think you can't do that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that a little later on in this podcast. But she narrated her audiobook. She put it out there. It sounds, and it's fantastic. But now, when you narrate your own audiobook, and let's say you have a YouTube channel, or create a YouTube channel for your author brand, and do little segments. Do sit down in a comfy chair with a nice light or candlelight or whatever it is, and read your and put your audiobook up there, or read it live, or film yourself, video yourself doing it live, or again, taking your audiobook and then putting images up. There's simple things that you can do, and have people hear you narrate your audiobook, because you're putting it out there and you're letting people hear a sample, a little snippet of what you do. And then that's going to get them to buy your audiobook, because you're going to put that link, maybe a link to your website, to grab your audiobook. Or if they want to go to Audible or wherever, fine, then they can pick your audiobook there. But the point is that you're making a sale. Okay. The other thing that you need to do in regards to promotion, of course, is get on that podcast tour. Okay, go out there, promote yourself. There's tons of podcasters out there that are looking for great guests and want to be able to talk about your book, and you promotion will allow you to promote your book, and you really can make money by doing that, because that will send people to your website. That'll send people to wherever you want them to go purchase your audiobook. It's a great thing. It's really a great thing. All right. Because the thing is that you're not just selling an audiobook. You're using them as leverage, as marketing tools. Okay. And it's a great way to make income. And the bottom line is this: when you narrate your own audiobook, and this is where I'm going to get into the narration side, because that's going to help you sell more audiobooks, especially for nonfiction and fiction as well, but especially nonfiction, especially if you're, a coach or an entrepreneur or an educator or a teacher or a children's book writer, or even if it's a memoir. By you narrating your own audiobook, you are creating a deeper connection with that listener. They can feel your energy. They can feel your emotion. They tap into who you are, what you're about, and your personality. It is authenticity, and authenticity sells. And it also builds a stronger brand identity when you are narrating your book, because your author brand is not just your logo. It's not just the products. It's not just your, if you have a color scheme or whatever it is that you present, branding, that's fine. But part of that branding is your voice, how you sound, how you express yourself. That's all part of your author brand, and that is what you need to put out there. That's why it's so much better, I guess, to have you narrate your own audiobook. That's why I'm a big advocate of helping authors narrate their own audiobooks. That's why I do what I do as an audiobook coach and producer. Love doing it, and just love hearing the end result, because boy, do authors do a great job. And again, you're tapping into those intangibles, the emotion, the sincerity, the authenticity, the energy, keeping that listener on the edge of their seat from opening credits to closing credits. What a wonderful thing. And again, you're leaving your legacy in your own voice, So crucial to be able to do that. So someone 100 years from now can find and listen to your audiobook and go, wow, I'm hearing it from the source. It's not someone else telling the story. It's not from second or third person. It's from first person. And that is really a great, great thing. And of course, from a business standpoint, when you're narrating your own audiobook, you're not paying a narrator to do it because you can do it. You're keeping more of your royalties. Some of these companies that provide narrators, this and that and the other, they want a chunk of your sales. And no, you need to make 100% and keep 100% of your sales, or at least the higher percentage of your sales, and not be giving it to another company or another narrator. So again, very important for you to narrate your own audiobook. As I said, I'm a big advocate of that. And have a marketing plan, okay? Plan it out pre-launch, during your launch, post-launch of your audiobook. Have a plan and create things like shorts and YouTube clips and podcast clips, and do your social media. Get involved in groups on LinkedIn and Facebook and wherever else, or wherever you put yourself. Then you can look into, if you have a marketing budget, you can do ads to promote yourself as well. And it's not just only doing Facebook ads, because there are other companies out there that will help you promote and market your book and your audiobook, that are really focused on authors, not just this general, Facebook ads that's for anybody and everybody. All right. Strictly focusing on the book industry and helping authors get the word out there about your book and your audiobook. So I'm telling you, those are things that you can do. And that's where you'll be shown the money. Okay. You will be shown the money because you're thinking outside the box. And that's what you need to do. You need to think outside the box. So put yourself out there. Put yourself on Audible, Amazon, Apple, and any other distribution platform that you want to be on. As long as it works for you as a marketing strategy, okay? Don't just throw it out there and go, oh, I hope somebody buys. That's not marketing, okay? That's throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing what sticks, right? We heard that phrase a million times. But you are the CEO of you, right? You are the boss. The buck stops with you. So do things that move your author brand and business forward, and have a plan. Okay. But there are ways for you to definitely make money. Now, if you would like to find out more about what I do as an audiobook coach and producer, go to my website at robertlanecoaching.com. Check out those links that I have in the description, by the way. There's a link about the VIP program, about the DIY program. There's, if you need equipment to set up your own recording space, you can purchase the equipment from me, a microphone and headphones, directly from me to help. And, I'll help you set up your recording space. And I don't believe in cutting corners and using cheapy Yeti mics or whatever mics that are just, that just don't sound that great. I believe in never cutting corners, as you should never do, is cut corners. And because of the equipment that I provide my authors who sign up for the VIP program, I give them the equipment, which is yours to keep, by the way. And, $400 worth of equipment is yours. That's part of the program. But anyway, check out those links. All right. If you work with me, I help you set up your own recording space. We go through the entire creation process, helping you do a great narration. And I do all the editing for you, because your audiobook has to be edited. You have to have it edited. You need post-production editing to make sure it's clean and that it meets the exact specifications for publication. And the way I edit, and my approach is, and I will always do it this way, is I listen to everything in real time, because I do not want to miss anything. If there's a weird mouth noise or something that's distracting, I will remove it. If there is a mispronunciation, or if there is a slurred word, or maybe the pacing is a little off, or there was too much of a gap between a sentence or a paragraph, or maybe it was rushed in a certain spot, I can fix that. So you have to listen to your audiobook in real time, and a good professional editor will do that, or they should. And that's what I do. I spend hours, 80, 100 hours per audiobook. And that's just editing. That's not even the coaching aspect, because you deserve the best. And then I will upload your audiobook for you into Audible, Amazon, Apple, and any of those distribution platforms. I help you set up your ACX account. I help you set up your Authors Republic account and upload your audio for you. Make sure you get published the first time properly. You got to do it. So again, go to robertlanecoaching.com. That's my website. There's a lot of information up there. There's clips of authors who've narrated their audiobook. You can check those out. But book a call, and that link to book a call is in the description as well. We'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to help you turn your book into an audiobook, because there is money to be made. There really is. You just got to think outside the box, and you will make money. But from a business standpoint, you need to have an audiobook. You definitely need to have an audiobook. And to make your audiobook better than just the average audiobook that's out there, you need to narrate it yourself and do it in your own voice. Because bottom line, nobody can tell your story better than you. All right, my friends, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. I do appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you want to go to my YouTube channel at just type in Robert Lane Coaching, subscribe to the channel. Would love to have you as a subscriber. Matter of fact, I got that link in the description as well. And again, check out those links. Would love to hear from you, and book a call. Love to talk with you. You will talk with me directly. And when you do sign up into the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program, you work with me directly. I don't send you off somewhere else. You work with me, and I'm glad to do it. All right. My final assignment, of course, is when you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, say hello to them, because that small gesture of kindness can make the world difference in somebody's life. And boy, do we need some positivity in this world today. So be good humans. All right. Be good humans. We'll be talking to you. Well, let's see. The next edition, I'll just say on the next edition of the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, because when it comes to, the holiday season and things like that, I may not be around to do a podcast, but again, you can go to Robert Lane Coaching's, go to my YouTube channel. Everything's archived there anyway. So, or you can just check it out on your favorite podcast platform that you're listening to the show right now. All right. Have a great day. We'll be talking to you soon. Be good humans. Take care, my friends.
This has been Your Book, Your Voice with host Robert A. Lane. Tune in each week for another powerful and informative episode. And remember, only you can narrate your story the way it's meant to be heard.